at our SUNY president's meeting here, so had to go and travel up north here, but I'm glad to be with you all virtually. Let's see here.
Can we go around and introduce everybody first? We usually introduce everybody because we're live.
Sure, let's go ahead and do that. Everybody, you want to do the round table there, Craig?
Sure.
And then
And
I'll
Craig
go back on.
and Craig Clark, the executive director for the Allegheny County IDA.
Melissa Pindertor, assistant director.
John Ricky, member of the board.
Doug Frank on the treasurer of the IDA.
Tom McElhaney, a member.
Bill Munier, member of the board. Joe Hart, member.
Barb Benjamin, operations director.
Mike Healy, county legislator.
Ed Russell, counsel to the IDA.
Right, Steve Morrow, member and chair of the board.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
All right, so we've done that. How about now we go through the minutes? Everybody has a copy of the minutes, a chance to read them through. And I guess I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as they're presented.
All right, how about a second?
Second, Ricky.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, and if not, I will say all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion, the approval of the minutes are complete. Let's move on to the Finance Committee report.
With the finance committee report, in front of you is we have the profit and loss comparison for January 1 through July 6. We also have, jumping around here, but we have, the monthly one, which covers the period of June 9 through July 6, profit and loss. We have a balance sheet as of July 6th. And I don't know if there's any substantial changes or things that we need to discuss on these. The other thing that I did want to bring to your attention is we have the expense by vendor summary. Recommending to the full board that these monies, the total $3,647.04 be approved for payment. And I guess the way that the agenda works, Steve, is that we get approval of these financials after, under the action items. That's how we're doing it now.
You can change that.
Yeah, you can change it. You can approve it now or the action items. It's up to the board.
Yeah, let's move forward and approve it now, Steve.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so based on that update, I guess I'm looking for a motion to approve the report and the payment of the expenses as described.
I'll make that motion.
And you get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Do we need to discuss the CD bank statements too?
We can do that after the.
Yeah.
Right, as a separate item.
Sure.
Okay.
Any further discussion there? Not, I'd say all those in favor then, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the report and the payments have passed. We can take that off the action item afterwards. Let's see then.
See, we have one more
Okay,
thing, sorry.
Yeah, Steve, what Joe just brought up is the CD bank, CD renewal. So Craig and Barb, you have comments on that?
Yeah, we have a 7-month CD that's due July 23rd. So the finance committee's reviewed that and we recommended that we would go another 7 months and the rate would be 3.1%. So basically roll that over. So the board has to approve that recommendation from the finance committee.
Okay. All right, that sounds great. And it seems to make sense. I guess then, be looking for a motion to put forward that, recommendation for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a recommendation that we approve the CD Bank, renewals.
And, can I get a second?
Ricky will second.
All right, and, any further discussion on that?
No.
Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, looks like we got a good strategy for our CD to keep accumulating some, interest there. That sounds great. Anything else on the finance, committee or on the finance side? I believe we need to discuss, one thing in executive session, but if we have nothing further on the committee report, we'll see if we can, make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, can I get a second?
As Ed says, to discuss a contractual and financial issue.
Thanks, Greg.
All right.
I do listen, Ed.
I'll second.
Okay, we are now out of executive session.
Yeah, we're in full session again, yes.
Hey, wait just a sec here. Let folks back in the room. And then it looks like the last part of our finance committee discussion and update would be to bring forward the group that is being recommended for the consultant work. So I'll just look for a motion for that.
Yeah, the finance committee reviewed and is recommending that we hire Harrison Studio for our consultant for the CBTG grants.
Just for the record, sorry, Steve, I'm, on behalf of the county and Craig's appointment, I monitor the process because it's very strict for us to qualify a consultant and do the RFP and post the RFP and publish the RFP and review all the applications and stick with this rubric that we have actually gotten directly from other grantees. And so if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer that, but we were very careful to follow all of those rules and restrictions on behalf of the county.
Yeah, it's great to hear and see. Yeah, very robust process and very good discussion around that. Okay, so let's see if we can get a motion put forward to approve Harrison for the work described.
Yeah, I'll make that motion, Steve.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? Okay. How about we cover then, Craig, do you want to walk us through the rest of the action items?
Sure. The ARC Power Grant was submitted July 7th. It was due July 8th. It's been accepted. And this year was the first year they actually kicked back a full proposal, so I will send you copies of the full proposal. Usually you enter it online and then you have to figure out how to get it back out of the online system. But they fixed their system, so it basically kicked out the full grant, which I thought was interesting. It's much easier, so I can send you that. I'll send you the full grant. The only other
When do you
thing,
expect to, when is the notification, do you know?
October.
October,
So
okay.
I have to do some legwork in between to see if we can garner some other support, as you well know, Steve, how that happens.
Sure. Yep.
The other thing in the RBDG BDZ zone grant, I do have a confirmation that they'll have it ready probably next week or two, so it'll be presented at the next board meeting. They haven't quite finished it. They were hoping to finish it so we could present it today, but they didn't quite make it done. So we don't know what our rating is, and I know Melissa can't wait to see the rating, but I think we'll be an A. I've left it on here. It's the second annual
Oh,
dinner.
sorry, we skipped the Marine.
Is that on there? Oh, Marine.
Yeah, resolution, we have a resolution over.
Oh, yeah, you did forget that one because it's not bulleted.
No, it is, resolution, right there.
No, right here. It's not a bullet on it.
Oh, these are mine.
Steve, we did forget one thing before we go through these other items. We had a resolution to approve an agent for Moraine Solar. I forgot that. I apologize. I missed it too in my writing. So there's one more action item. Remember we talked about it, the Marine Solar agent?
So the very guy for the second to last.
So there is one resolution. What happens with almost any of these projects that we approve is they will hire a contractor or a subcontractor to do the work. And so to get the benefits, we have to have an agent for Marine Solar. In other words, the company's actually going to do the work. Because otherwise, when they try to get the tax exemption for sales exemption, they can't get it because they don't have a piece of paper. Because they're not Marine Solar, they're another company. So it's quite normal to assign an agent for Marine Solar when they buy the products for their construction. So they get the sales tax exemption. This is the first one the board has seen, but it's quite normal because we give the tax exemption to the company that's building the project, but they don't build the project. They hire a contractor to build the project.
Right, yeah, not abnormal, right, and so we just need to formally, approve the addition of that agent so that they have the right paperwork in place to continue to move forward.
Now, were they supposed to hire local help when they did that?
They have to hire local workers, not,
Did
yeah.
they do that?
well, they're just, yes, they haven't reported yet, but yes, that's part of their package, they've been reporting.
It's a requirement. It's part of their incentive.
So the companies aren't always local, but they have to hire local workers.
They have to report against that next spring for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Every year, we have to get a full report as to who and what percentage.
That's why I have a little problem with this right now. Just because you guys weren't here other than Doug, we got snookered by one of these companies. They didn't hire anybody local.
It was one out of Hume.
They couldn't find a realtor in Allegheny County. They hired one from New Mexico. They couldn't find anybody to put up fence. They hired someone from North Carolina. So my suggestion is, I don't think we should okay this right now. Let's see, because according to their website, they've done logging and site prep. I'd like to find out who they had do that first. Let's catch them now before,
Right.
because these guys are just, they run roughshod around here.
Yeah.
One company starts it, the next company, they sell you, it's like a
You
shell,
don't know who
you
owns
can't
it. Yeah.
change it. I think if we find out how good they did so far on those, I don't think that's a heavy ask.
I wouldn't think so.
Because it says,
So what you're saying, if I understand what you're saying is, rather than a blanket approval for an additional agent, you'd like to see who that the specific subcontractor is before we approve.
And who-
actually, I'd like to see, they already did site work and tree work. Who did that? I want to know who did that. There's over 100 tree cutters in Allegheny County.
Yeah.
You know, we always push Allegheny County first, then the broader thing. Because a lot of times these guys say, oh, we Googled Allegheny County and couldn't find something, so they get somebody in Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, you know. There won't be any jobs out of this other than building the thing.
Right.
We get, you know, one, maybe this one's a
And the
little
tree
bigger.
cutters obviously could have all been out of the
Right, it's just,
I just, so were they?
I just say, this is the time to,
Yeah.
let's do the checks and balance on them. If they can come up and say, yeah, we did this. If not, then
Okay. Does that sound, feasible, Craig? Can you go out and get a little bit more information there?
I can get the information, I'd hate to wait a month, that's all, because they're actually in construction phase.
Can we make a resolution based on something, like saying based on the confirmation that they're using local labor? Can we do that?
Yeah, you could.
That's saying
Maybe
yes.
conditional.
That's saying a condition.
here's one more thing that happened when that company snookered us. We have the right to fine them or whatever. We got $50,000 out of them. And they didn't bat an eye. They knew they weren't gonna hire local. They said, we'll
They
just
just
pay
took
the
the
50
fee.
and do it. So let these people, if we wanna do this today, put up a bond.
Yeah.
Give us a bond rate today and I'll sign it. If you did hire local. I don't know, I don't trust these people. Like,
No.
it's not these people specifically, but it's the industry.
Are there any requirements in our contract with them that they report to us?
Yes.
Once a year, that they,
Just once a year?
about what they
As a
use that year.
completion of
and
each
what-
year.
Done by that time,
We won't know
it's all
until
done.
until it's over.
Then they say, oops, fine.
Yeah.
Oops, they're so big, it's hundreds of millions. That's, I don't know.
I'm not trying to add fuel to your fire, but Herzog is out of Missouri, just for the record.
I'm sure they're not local.
Yeah, there's no,
They're out of Missouri.
But it's not the company that's local, we don't require
They're
that,
hiring.
we can't
Right.
require
It's the
that,
hiring,
it's the hiring.
Wait, so what you could do is approve the appointment of the agent subject to confirming the current local hiring practices.
And proposed, maybe.
Which I can share with the board.
And pros, yeah, and pros, good point.
I think, you know, if we start this now, maybe they'll be a little more apt down the road to do more.
Okay,
Okay, so it sounds like an amendment here is that, we would approve, the addition of, adding an additional agent, pending the, adoption of current local hiring practices.
And proof that
In that
they have
process.
already done that, right?
proof, yeah.
proof they've already done that.
Already done it.
Okay,
Can we change
sounds
that
good.
word?
Okay,
Can we change that wording about having them, letting us know a year? They build them in less than a year.
No, we do them quarterly.
Oh, okay.
I have a form I'll send them.
There's no further discussion. I guess I would just look for the motion then. Do we, yeah, we need to vote on this, yeah?
Yes,
It
please.
should be roll call too.
Yeah, roll call.
Okay.
I've got one more question.
Sure.
How often do we have to appoint? Does that happen?
Once.
Just once and only once? Per-
Typically, per job. I mean, they may have two, but they don't have
Per,
per
Per
contract.
per project.
I mean, usually it's not multiples, but it's
so
usually.
they're not selling this and selling this. and
Well,
selling
they
it.
will down the road.
Yeah, they will.
Well, that's
Then
different.
Do they need another agent every time they sell, or is it?
No. This is only during construction.
Just,
Because that's to get the sales tax exemption. Because if the company that's doing the work can't get the sales tax exemption, then the sales tax exemption doesn't happen to the company. You see what I'm saying?
In order to sell, they need our blessing. That's how we got
That's
it
different.
last time. That's how we got our 50 grand. Okay, we'll let you sell. You got, since you didn't follow the rules, pony up this and we'll sign off. That's what we did.
You know, that was fairly unusual, but that was the first one that really didn't even try to follow. And they just,
Yeah, they were blatant.
they were blatant, and they basically had sold the project to somebody else, and they didn't even follow any rules. It was in their contract with the company to follow the rules, and they didn't follow the rules. Because it's in our documents for the financial assistance, what they have to do to follow the rules.
What percentage, I've done a lot of state contracts, and usually before you have the contract, you let the contractor give a list of who they're gonna hire and what.
Right.
What, with this right now, what percentage of their labor force was intended to be local or subcontract?
Is it 90?
It's supposed to be.
It's 90%.
It's
is what
90.
is our.
It's big. It's not like 10 to 20, it's 90%. It's
None of
expected.
The local is pretty big.
No.
Local is Western New York. It's not Allegheny
Right,
County.
yeah.
Oh, local, statewide.
Not
Not statewide, but central New York and all Western New York. Because
Or
other,
to stress, we also stress
Yeah.
on Allegheny County,
Oh,
certainly,
absolutely.
that you get a fence, guy to put up a fence or cut a tree, I think you can find it.
Fair enough.
be paying the sales tax.
Yeah, but the point of, what we maybe should be thinking about on the front end certainly is a good one, right? So I'm hearing a lot of discussion about maybe in the future, when we engage, to set things up in a way that we can really, really lay this out, about our expectations. But in the meantime, for something we already have in motion, we probably have to honor what we've set forth. But I do like the idea that we can pose this in a way to make sure that we understand, that they are abiding by the things that we have already kind of stipulated, and that they have the intention of doing it in the future. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, the real issue has been at some times, I do know that, and I'm not defending them, is that so much construction has been happening in Western New York, it's tough to find people. You know that, Tom, right?
Yeah, that's true.
People have booked schedules.
No, I mean, people.
No, really.
They go to the labor halls and they can't
No,
find anybody.
Right. So, yeah, we run into the same issues, of course. We use, dozens of subcontractors, but, we also, back to the original point, we write things on the front end to kind of stipulate what that means.
They have that,
Right,
they have
so-
that in writing, so.
Yep. Mhm.
So roll call vote?
Okay.
Did we make a motion?
What's the motion? What's the-
Go ahead.
I'll put forward the motion that we approve the addition, approve the approval of additional agent pending the confirmation of past and current local hiring practices for that agent.
That sounds good.
I'd like to see us amend that to include future.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, if I didn't include future, I meant to put in as well. Pending, yeah, pending and future. Okay, pending, that's amended then?
Previous and in the future.
Yeah.
Can we get a second for that?
I'll second.
Okay, further discussion based on? Okay,
And this should be done by roll call vote.
Yeah.
Who calls the roll call?
Why don't you call it, Melissa?
You want me to?
Me?
Melissa can.
Steve Morrow,
Because she had it right in front of her. Steve Morrow, do you vote?
yeah, I vote, I approve.
Joe Hart,
I approve.
Douglas Frank,
Aye.
Terry is absent, Tom McElhaney,
Yes.
William Union,
Yes.
John Ricky.
Yes. I already voted yes.
6 yeses, 1 absent. 6 yeses, 1 absent,
It's
Steve.
not on
Yeah,
there.
I don't like that.
No. It should be blank.
You already voted aye? Cool.
Oh,
It's already on the
it's
minutes.
already on the.
I don't know why, it must have been, but it was ours. I just checked off it.
Well, it
So do
won't
we
be.
need to discuss what the repercussions are if we find that they have not followed it? With the except, so we aren't gonna approve their agent, what else are we gonna do?
Well, we had
Final?
we had a discussion last time and they blatantly said, I think we would, but we don't have a number and we have to see what they did.
Okay.
I think we'd wait until we know what they did or didn't do.
How bad
Then
it
it's
is.
You argue back and forth on what that figure is.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, but
80%.
Once you know what they've done, then you can have.
Yeah, it's- We cleared all the trees and all, that's quite a lot of work done.
Yeah. The word of the wicked.
Yeah.
It's always good to do a check just to make sure they're acting within the confines of the agreement. So I think we can do that regardless, right? I think that's good progress, updating and report. So maybe we can just get that regardless. And as we continue to move forward, just make sure that we're continually monitoring it. But I really do like the discussion here because what I'm hearing is really for us thinking through on the front end, what it is that we need to make sure we have in place, in agreements, and, kind of what that looks like for monitoring and updates. Not an atypical thing, right? That, you get progress reports on such things with some metrics, right? And you have some clauses, in some of these agreements that those metrics are met. So maybe something for us to continue to think about as we continue to engage in these projects and support these projects.
Yeah, the last board discussed codifying the what we would do. And the previous board decided not to codify it because then you might be limiting yourself to what you could do. You see what I'm saying? Is if you said, okay, the fine's X% of the project, that they could maybe decide that I'm just gonna eat it.
Yeah.
And the goal is not to give them a fine, the goal is to get them to follow through.
Right.
Actually higher, like local.
I thought Randy made a good point last time about that, by not codifying it, because if you saying they're gonna fine them $50,000, they may just take $50,000, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
How did
Just
you,
say,
Doesn't
well,
be
that's not
stated bad night.
I thought that was a good point that Randy brought up before, is that's why we didn't codify it as to a number.
Right.
So people,
how did you come about $50,000 last time? How was that determined?
I'd have to go back and look, there was a big
The
long
lawyer
discussion.
mentioned 5,000, and Randy said, why don't we do 50? We did 50, and they said, okay. And we all said, should have done 100.
$500,000.
But it wasn't a percentage of anything,
That
it was
was
the
the
number.
number.
It was just a negotiation.
Hold
It
on.
was a gut feel of maybe what they saved by doing it. The savings isn't nearly what it used to be, because these projects now are prevailing wage rate. See, before, the savings could have been quite substantial if you brought somebody out of town. But now you have to pay
Doesn't matter where
prevailing
you
wage
hire
rate, doesn't matter if you hire them from Missouri or if you hire them from Allegheny County.
Who checks the payroll?
Well, not me, we don't do
Is
that.
anybody on any of these projects? you think?
Sure,
The Labor Department?
yeah, Labor Department does. Because they've changed that, the labor laws on this. It's all prevailing wage rate now. So there's no advantage to cheating, actually, as far as saving money.
So we'll put this on the agenda for the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Look, so I think that's the last action item, right?
Yes.
Do you want to go through old business, Craig?
So I almost got it. I got down to the discussion of the annual dinner. I'll be reviewing our list from last year, letting the board know the list of who we invited and see if there's anybody else you want to add to that list. And then the other thing is we already have one sponsor. I think we talked about that. Hodgkin Russ is sponsoring.
Thank you.
And we'll get some other people to sponsor because we're doing it well in advance. I'm sure we'll get more sponsors this year. And I'll keep you informed as to the sponsors as well.
And per the board's approval at the last meeting or recommendation, we did book the place and paid deposits, so it's set to go. Well, less work for me and Barb this year, because they do everything there.
Any update on the EPA Brownfield grant? I mean,
Yeah, so actually we got together and one of the things we really wanted to do at our last meeting was I was getting this sort of like impending sense of doom that with all the things that the committee had approved and we hadn't been keeping a pro forma budget, like what does that look like? What is the money we've already like approved spending? And it's preliminary in all of the phase 1s and phase 2s, they vary a bit. Phase 1 assessments are easier, they're right around 3,000 to 6,000, so we did 5 just to be conservative for each that's coming up. Phase 2s are wildly inaccurate. We did the best we could, but it could be anything from 50 borings in the ground that find VLCs and things like that to check for lead and asbestos and no in-ground sampling. So it can be 10,000, it can be 100,000. So HRP, the engineering team, and I did our best to put forward a budget. And I don't think I shared it with you yet. I have to do that. We just did it yesterday. We are looking at really having approved, we've only spent down less than $100,000 technically, but we've approved almost 300,000, and we have another 80,000 that's being recommended at the next meeting. So we're really at this point looking at an existing budget of just about 184,000 of unapproved money, and again, it's a conservative estimate, and then 130,000 or 120,000 somewhere in there of pending at the next meeting if we approve another phase 1 and another phase 2. Does that make sense? So it's very preliminary right now, but I really felt we were getting there. I mean, $100,000 left of our $500,000 grant is getting down to the wire, and it helps us understand how many phase 1s and phase 2s we can accommodate, which is only a couple. So that we did that work yesterday. I spent a couple hours on the phone with HRP, and I can share that with whoever you want me to. So that's what's going on there. Is we're being very careful about where we're getting to with that money. You know, it's not our money, it's BPA's, and they like to see it carefully managed. So we did that. And then, I don't know, any sites particularly you want to talk about or no? I mean, we have a couple of good sites pending, and it's a nice spread. It's all over the county, which I think is a good look also. Just to kind
we
of,
can individually share. We prefer not to make it public to some of the people that are looking.
well, we
at
can't.
Brownfields only if they allow us to make it public.
2 of the 20 owners have given us permission to give you an idea. They don't want to be exposed as having possible contamination, obviously, for, reasons everybody's not in it, so, that's how it goes. But our SIO site, Hydromet, which is just pending some engineering with the owner, so it's on hold really. And then the old water mill plant, Noah, who owns the old mill, and Alfred, he doesn't care. He says, no publicity is bad publicity. So go ahead and talk about my site, feel free. And the only other thing is we've made a real effort in the last few months because we're learning as we go, right? To make it clear that and we've done really well so far based on that analysis, to make sure we're putting the dollars in places that can be redeveloped, that makes sense to be redeveloped, and that's where we'd really like to see that money go. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just pissing it down.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, if you don't have any chance of
Right.
developing that land,
Yeah.
there's no reason to help it for a
If
brownfield.
there's no interest at all, then we waste it. Well, we have not done it, as far as I can tell, on a single site. We either have a developer in the wings ready, or we have potential developers interested in the site.
Would it be possible to get a written summary of everything you just said?
Yes. We'll do a short summary of where we are and how many sites we've done.
You don't need to name
No, we,
projects.
Right.
or anything.
actually, we have a
It'd be nice
spreadsheet
to-
that,
We have a
So
dashboard.
I get a feel.
Yep, and we just.
which
did
we'll
the
just take the
pro forma
names off so that you know that we're doing it.
Yeah, no, the dashboard, has them, so we'll just.
We'll take the
remove
names off, because it
addresses.
actually tells you how many
Yeah.
phase 1s have been approved, how many phase 2s we're doing.
How many-
And where we are, yeah.
Yeah, we've what's the word I'm looking for, taking, we've, anonymized them, that's the word before, and I was trying to come up with cool code names, but there's just Cuba 1, Cuba 2, Cuba 1, Cuba 2, so it tells you the town they're in, at least you can see the kind of
Is
areas.
that the size of the lot too?
No, it doesn't.
You don't know if it's 1 acre or 20 acres.
I mean, I can include that if you want, it's easy, I have all that
Then we
information in our
would-
system.
We'll round them so that you can't find them.
Yeah. I'm just saying, so you can.
No, I-
Get an idea of what kind of development.
Yeah. It's
My
some-
answer is yes, it's already in the database, no, it's not on the dashboard, so easy enough for me to provide, not an issue.
We'll give a rounded acreage.
Yeah, no
Sure.
problem, I just finished that budget,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
just
good time.
heard it, but.
Right.
I think a one-page dashboard that has that summary so that you know where we are.
Right.
And we just put it together, so.
But that's going really well anyhow, and
That's good.
and just on, I don't know if it's on here, but in terms of that, we're also, I submitted a draft RLF grant that Craig and I and Marie worked on to put together for $1 million RLF loan fund. We talked about that a little bit. didn't we?
That's for the next phase, to basically have funds to actually help, and we did talk about it, so that we can actually do some of that. We wouldn't do the cleanup, but we can help fund the
Help move
cleanup.
it forward for
Right.
yes.
It would be the
That's
same
it.
kind of thing where you work with a QEP, qualified engineering professional, and they hire the contractors and subcontractors and work with the EPA directly.
So again, it's smaller projects, because $1 million would be eaten up on some sites, you know that.
Depending on the thing, I mean, it can be 5 to 10 max
Yeah.
that you're gonna help. So we'll keep you posted on that, there's a draft application.
We'll get that out before the next board meeting, Steve.
Yeah, I can do that.
And then the next thing on here was the Gateway Marketplace. I'll consolidate that with the ARC grant, because basically they're both the same right now. I left that on there because we were discussing phases of the design, and we're not going forward until we know we got the project moving. So we're not doing anything else on that until the ARC grant's approved.
And I don't think we said in this meeting, Craig, you just submitted it.
I did.
Oh, you did, I missed it.
The micro enterprise grant, we should know sometime this summer, hopefully. It takes about 3 or 4 months for them to approve. There's no more questions. We've given them all the answers. It's just a formal approval process. It takes a while for OCR to make the approval. So we should be getting the micro enterprise grant sometime this summer, which is typically $300,000 that we have $250 to give out. So, and then this board will be reviewing that once our consultant gets the process going, that it comes back to this board to review and approve which ones we actually fund. Which is always interesting, right, Doug?
Should be a good thing. I'm looking forward to it.
The Allegheny County Strategic Plan, I'll leave it on here. I just wanted to reference that we did do the June 23rd training program, which I was involved getting the panel, and Melissa helped do the training. We had 20 people attend, and Bill's son attended.
Yes.
And just asking me, everyone seems to think it was well worth the time. It was a 2-hour training plus an hour/lunch panel discussion. And I got some of some of the people already sent back that they put things in place that they learned the next day.
It was good feedback, yeah.
So the real issue is now getting the word out when we do the next one that it was useful, and we're going to modify a little bit more to have more hands-on, I think. But other than that, it was a good program. So if people walk away with something they can actually implement, that's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah.
And ABO board requirements, there's still some people that need to do the training.
Most people. Joe's, I think, the only one that's fully compliant at this time. He's proud of himself. So most people still need to do the ABO board training. I know it's a pain every time you click that link. If there is an struck out training listed, it means it's available. So then you go to the register link and you register if you can make that time. And it's about 45 minutes. You said it wasn't bad. No, I thought that. I mean, Craig and I attended one, just so you know, that was 4 hours in
Yeah.
person. So for 45 minutes, I was actually pretty excited about that. So it's not a heavy lift. I'll resend.
Yeah, the in-person
Yeah,
training
no,
takes a
no.
lot
Oh, it was
longer.
brutal. But I will resend right after the board meeting, as I always do. I'll resend the links.
And just so you know, it is something that's required, because when we do the Paris report, we have to say that the board
Can't
has
lie for
actually
you.
done all this
No.
training, so.
I won't lie for you. Make sure you don't make me lie.
So that's all that I have. I don't have any new business. unless somebody else
Okay,
does.
any new business from anybody? Good for the order? Okay, not, how about we look for a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
We got one loose.
I'll
Second?
I got it.
All right, sounds like we are adjourned then. We'll, you wanna take a 2-minute break here, or you wanna jump right
Take a
into the
break?
next one here,
Yes,
Craig?
please.
Take a break.
Okay, hey, can you send then, call to order here. Do you want to go through, introductions again, Craig, or? are we
No,
okay for this
because
one?
it's okay because it's all one stream.
Okay, in that case, let's go through the minutes. Everybody had a chance to receive, look through the minutes. We'd be looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. We approve the, minutes as submitted.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Not all of those in support, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, looks like, that has passed. All right, let's, go through, finance committee report.
The finance report is limited to a couple pages of expenses by vendor. It has nothing on it except reserve balance and the deposit detail. Is on,
Do we need to approve the financial report?
yeah.
Yeah, you still should approve it, even though we haven't spent any money. It's best to approve it.
All right, let's do that then. Can I get a motion to approve the financial committee report?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Okay, we got a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay. We've approved the financial committee report. I do believe we want to go into executive session for this, Craig, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a
okay.
motion that we go into executive session
To discuss a contractual issue.
to discuss,
Contractual.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Can I get a second? All right, let's, go into
Should move out of executive session.
I'll second.
All right, we are out of executive session.
Do we have to vote on that?
Didn't we vote?
No.
Oh,
On what?
And the motion and the
Okay, we are officially out of
Okay,
executive
there you go.
session.
Just telling you. You're sort of far down the hotel. 5-7.
All right, well, do you wanna, walk us through, the action items?
we've already approved the financials, right?
No, we didn't do it this meeting.
I did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, Tom and Bill did.
So the existing new loan application is a standing item on the agenda. And just informing the board that we have no existing new loan applications that are moving forward at this time. So that's the only issue on there. And the property discussion, I think we've discussed it, that the board is interested in the future on potentially buying property so we can help develop in the county. And if something comes up, we'll discuss that in public session.
Sounds great. Okay. Any old business? New business, good in the order? If not, how about we get a motion to adjourn then?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. A second?
I'll second that.
All right, all